Hello students, welcome to my channel Sarvasmartstarters. So today in this video, I would like to teach you about other essential elements of a valid contract. So basically this is unit 3 in your chapter book. I'm not going to teach the entire chapter. I'm going to teach only the content related to the minor in this video particularly. Okay. So why I'm basically why I'm talking about minor is because students literally face a slight difficulty when they're trying to attempt the answer. When they read the question, they couldn't able to analyze whether this question belongs to which provision. Okay, so mostly it happened related to the minor concepts. So that is the reason why I have chosen this concept today. So let's enter into our video and try to analyze the topic right now. As we read in our previous chapters, I mean, in previous chapters like chapter 1 and chapter 2, unit 1 and unit 2, Indian Contract Act 1872, basically, section 10 essential elements of a valid contract, we have already read about that, right? So, capacity to the contract. It speaks about capacity of the contract. So, let me just share the white screen for you. Right. So, basically, capacity of the parties. Now tell me, we know about the contract, right? We know about the contract, we know about the agreement. Now, who has capacity to enter into a contract? So, as we read many examples, like general examples, we got to know that everyone is competent to enter into a contract. Am I correct? Okay, as per our analysis, every person is competent to enter into a contract. But there are certain number of people, okay, certain category of people or certain category of the individuals who are not competent to enter into a contract. Okay. First, basically, we will study who are capable to enter into a contract because under section 11. Okay, remember the sections, ma, why? Because Indian Contract Act has very minimal sections for your level. Okay, minimal in the sense, okay, you can able to revise that. Don't worry about that. But trying to analyze the sections and implementing those sections in your answer will give a good impression. Okay, so when the valuation is happening, in that case, if you implement these sections and all, really it will be a good impression on your answer. So presentation, why I'm asking you to remember the section is because basically for presentation. So section 11, okay. Section 11 talks about what? Section 11 talks about who are the people have capacity to enter into a contract. So there are three category of people, okay. So basically, there are three categories. One is, am I eligible to enter into a contract? Yes. Why? Because I'm a major person. I'm not a minor, right? So I'm above 18. So basically, I can enter into a contract. So first category itself is major, right? And the second category is sound mind. And third category is not disqualified by law. So basically, section 11 talks about the people or the category of the people who is having a capacity to enter into a contract. It's very simple. Only three categories. One is major. The second category is sound mind. Third category is not disqualified by law. Okay. Yeah. So we got the answer right. Very easy. Section 11 talks about these three people are eligible to enter into a contract. Who is major? We know about the major. Major is a person who is above 18. Very simple answer. Then who is sound mind person? Sound mind person. How do you define a sound mind person? So when in exams they have asked you about a sound mind person or a case study has been asked, how do you define a sound mind person? A sound mind person is a person who can form a rational judgment. Okay, so what do you mean by rational judgment? Rational judgment is nothing but, yeah. So who can form a rational judgment? So simply I can describe sound mind person means a person who is not an unsigned person, right? But there are certain keywords which you have to imply in your answer. That is the reason. See, entire your foundation syllabus, law syllabus is quite easy. With examples, you can understand the provision. Okay, so there is no difficulty about the syllabus. There is a difficulty in presentation of your answers. Most of the students I have seen, like when they were writing their mocks or when they were writing their test, the major difficulty they faced or the major reason behind failure is nothing but they couldn't able to properly imply these keywords in the answer. Okay, you're not a lame, this is not a lame course, right? This is not a simple course, right? CA is a professional course, so they expect you to answer professionally. Okay, so through this level itself, you have to adopt that professionalism. Otherwise, when you enter into CA internal, you will face major difficulties over there when you're attempting this paper. That is the reason why syllabus is framed in such a way that it is quite easy. With simple example, you can understand the provision. Seriously, one example, provision can be understood. But how do you present that matters a lot. Okay, so forming a racial judgment, a person who forms a racial judgment means a person who will be knowing whether this is correct or wrong. That person can be called as a sound mind person. Okay, so not disqualified by law means very clear. A convicted person is disqualified by law. An insolvent person is disqualified by law. Alien enemy is disqualified by law, right? So apart from these three, I mean, there are other category of people too. So apart from these category of people, make sure that these people are not disqualified by law. Okay, so I'm not a convicted person, so you can enter into contract with me because I'm not disqualified by law. Okay, and I'm a sound mind person. Yes, you can enter into contract with me because I can form a rational judgment. Yes, I'm a major person. You can enter into contract with me, right? So these all things, if you see, yes, of course, your section 11 is satisfied. Then what is a major problem here? What kind of questions they may ask you? So this definition, they'll for sure, they will not ask you, but we have to understand this. Now, minor. When we talk about minor, why minor is not competent to enter into a contract? Okay. Second, yeah. So when we talk about minor, why minor is not competent to enter into a contract and what happens if you enter into a contract with minor? These all things you must know, right? So minor means a person who is under 18 and minor, why we are not supposed to enter into a contract with minor because he's not a matured yet and he don't have a earning capacity yet. So based upon all these reasons, law has excluded minors to not to enter into a contract. Okay, so basically, students mostly who are attempting for CA foundation could be minors. Okay, majority of the people could be minors. So if a minor comes and asks me, ma'am, please help me for paying my fees, no? Okay, he just asked me a favor. Ma'am, please help me for paying my fees. So his fees is around like 90,000 rupees. And so far, I know his financial status. I know everything. Okay, he has good financial status also, but even though it was slight delay or something like that, so I took that request and I paid his fee. Now, being a minor, okay, so I offered him money, he paid his fee, everything, we mutually entered into a contract. I know he's a minor. Now tell me the contract is valid or void. Whether can I recover that money from minor or not? So this is a question they basically ask you. Okay. So before we begin these kind of case studies, first of all, we have to learn certain provisions. So the first provision is what happens when you enter into contract with a minor? What happens when you enter into a contract with minor? Is it valid? Is it void? Or is it void ab initio? What do you answer? What do you answer? Is it valid, void, or void ab initio? Answer is very simple. This is completely void ab initio. Okay, this is not valid. Okay, this may be void, but specific answer to that is void ab initio. What do you mean by void ab initio? Void from the beginning. Means from the beginning, whatever you entered, like offer, acceptance, consideration, from the beginning itself, it is void itself. Okay. Ma'am, how these provisions have been framed? Like, can you give me a case study reference to prove that entering into contract with minor is void ab initio? Yes, of course, we have a case study reference for this. Basically, we have to mention that case study reference whenever we are attempting our answers related to the minor cases. What is that case study reference? I think this is quite popular. Mohori bibi versus Dharmo Das Ghose. Okay, so today the video is completely about the story related to Mohori bibi versus Dharmo Das Ghose. I'm telling you, CA foundation syllabus is, particularly law syllabus is quite easy. Okay, examples, stories. There are many stories, man. You'll get entertained during the class. So in that way, the syllabus is framed. So through that entertainment only, you have to learn the provision, you have to learn everything, and most importantly, after learning the provision, presentation. So that is quite required. That is what expected from the student. So let's get into the topic now. Mohori bibi versus Dharmo Das Ghose. Okay. So what is this case study about? A simple story. Okay. So a story between, a dispute between money lender and a minor. Okay. So here minor is none other than our Dharmo Das Ghose. Okay. Dharmo Das Ghose itself is our minor. And money lender is not Mohori bibi. Money lender is like Brahmo Datta. Brahmo Datta it seems. Brahmo Datta. See, no need to remember this Brahmo Datta. I'll tell you why. See, Mohori bibi versus Dharmo Das Ghose, case study reference. There was a minor called Dharmo Das Ghose. Okay. So he need emergency funds. So he went to money lender called Brahmo Datta. Okay. Asking for money as he need funds in case of emergency. He went to Brahmo Datta, who's a money lender. Brahmo Datta wants some security. Then only he is allowed to give how much ever money he has, right? How much ever money Dharmo Das Ghose asked for. So Dharmo Das Ghose, what he did, he mortgaged one of the property. You know about mortgage, right? Mortgage means what do you call it? Takatu something. Mortgage means giving property, movable property as a security. Okay. So Dharmo Das Ghose has a one of the property and he mortgaged the property with Brahmodatta and took that amount of money. Everything was fine, no? Then what happened? Our Dharmo Das Ghose is very clever. What he did, Dharmo Das Ghose went to court and filed a case. Against whom? Against Brahmodatta. Related to what? Related to same scenario. What happened? He went and he filed a case stating that, sir, I'm a minor. Okay, I'm in the sense Dharmo Das Ghose, sir, I'm a minor. I'm not allowed to enter into a contract, right? But even though I was allowed in the contract, okay, and Brahmodatta has paid me money, and in return, he took my property as a mortgage. So make this contract invalid. Why? Because entering into contract with minor is void ab initio. Okay, so Dharmo Das Ghose is really familiar about Indian Contract Act. So he told, sir, entering into contract with minor is void ab initio, right? So why don't you cancel this case, making it as invalid? Okay. So Brahmodatta, of course, he is defendant. He has to go and he has to defend his case, right? Court has made that contract invalid. What Brahmodatta did? Brahmodatta went and appealed. Appeal means see whatever judgment we got previously, on that we can file an appeal saying that there are certain mistakes in the judgment, so we want to again open the case, bol ke something like that. So appeal. Brahmodatta went and appealed again saying that Sir, I don't have any proofs, or I'm not sure whether Dharmodas Ghose is minor or not. But Dharmodas Ghose has represented himself as a major and took that money, even though contract will become invalid, because that is mentioned in second point. Okay, when you enter into contract with minor, even though minor is representing as if he is a major, then also contract will become invalid. So you can imagine how many privileges minor has been given, right? Yeah. So even though it became invalid, right? Brahmodatta dealing with this case after so many years, he died, and his family members has represented this case, and at last, one of the authorized representative, okay, authorized representative of Brahmodatta was taken, she taken over that case, and she fighted against this case. That is the reason why authorized representative is none other than Mohori Bibi. Okay, Mohori Bibi is not actually the party to the contract, but she became the authorized representative to represent this case. That is the reason why case study has been framed as Mohori Bibi versus Dharmodas Ghose. Okay, so Mohori Bibi is also one of the family member or some agent related to the Brahmodatta. Mohori Bibi versus Dharmodas Ghose. So this is a story related to Mohori Bibi versus Dharmodas Ghose. Now, what is the moral of this story? Moral of this story is nothing but Dharmodas Ghose can happily escape from the contract. Why? Because it became invalid. Okay. But court made this case invalid and asked Brahmodatta to release that mortgage property. And moreover, Dharmodas Ghose should also repay the money whatever he took from Brahmodatta. So this is the judgment given by the court. Okay. And that is the reason why, based upon this case study reference, first point has been mentioned as entering into contract with minor is void ab initio. Whenever they ask you this kind of case study, please mention the case study reference, Mohori Bibi versus Dharmodas Ghose. Okay. Simple, right? Understood. Now, basically, what I expect from the students is to represent these kind of case studies wherever you can, and make sure that you are not distracting from the answer. See, there are most of the students, what they do is like they frame irrelevant provisions and they write irrelevant case studies over there. So that is what you have to learn during this period of preparation. Right? How many tests you can prepare, how many questions you can. Because knowing the subject, knowing the provisions is quite easy, but attempting is quite difficult. And I hope everything is made clear. In my next video, I'll come up with the next case study. Thank you so much for watching. We'll meet again. Bye-bye.